Hi, my name's Jack. I'm doing a video, pass along a couple of tips I learned by installing this Gree high wall ductless air conditioning and heating unit. My installation I didn't see anywhere on YouTube, so this might be a unique situation to help somebody else out with the same situation. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is an addition to it's a sun porch addition to our back of our house where the deck used to be. This part of the build out was existing where the patio doors and the windows are, how that juts out like that. So by putting a cathedral ceiling in here, I was able to keep the unit high enough so that the back of it is higher than the other side of the wall, the 8-foot ceiling, which is on the inside of the house. So in other words, I was able to come in from the outside above this soffit where you see that light in the ceiling there. Above that is where I brought it across. This used to be an outside part of the building here. Now it's inside naturally, and it's finished off with wood, but this was all siding at one time. So that pocket allowed me to run the conduit. I'm sorry, not the conduit, but the copper pipes. Let me get a pointer here for you. What I was talking about here is up here and behind this. This is above 8 foot. This is about 8 foot here for the inside wall, so I'm above that. So I was able to, these joists for the second floor, because it's a 2-story house, these joists are perpendicular to this wall here. So in other words, starting at about this point right here, 16 inches on center, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 joists to get to this point and up at this height behind this unit. So what I did is I was able to get above, this wasn't in at the time, so I was able to get up high enough and locate them joists and hole saw through 4 or 5 of them with an extension bit, and it was a 6-inch hole saw, and come down far enough to where went through enough joists to come in with a hole behind this, and then the pipes come into the back of that. So I just wanted to point that out, how I actually did that. I kind of figured that out. I'm in the trades, I'm an electrician, so I do this for a living. Not particular installation of these, but I was able to figure that out mechanically because of my experience. I'm going to take you outside. I'm going to take a pause here and take you outside. Okay, here we are on the outside of the house, and you can see my outside installation is on my patio below the actual addition. And I built a unistrut stand, maybe 2 foot high, to keep that the snow drifts and stuff from affecting the operation of the heat pump unit, which is the Gree unit. Now I'm going to step out here and show you a side view of the electrical installation, and then you see that white PVC enclosure goes up and makes a jog, and then all the way up to we're not that top part there where it enters the house comes in at that soffit that we were earlier talking about, and inside that PVC raceway, for lack of a better word, is the 2 copper lines which are to and from the outside unit here. And then naturally the electrical, I had to run an electrical line from the panel that meets its way here and hits an outside disconnect, and then it's a 220 line. That's some electrician, so that was no big deal for me to do that. Let me get my shadow out of the way, but you can see out of the bottom of that raceway that's mounted on the house, out of the bottom of that is the condensate line, which is condensation that forms when that hot and cold air meet up inside the inside unit, and it drains out outside. And then there's the low voltage line that comes out of the side of that, which is part of the control. It's a 5-conductor cable. It's pretty basic, and if you have any mechanical knowledge and a little help, the only thing that I had to have done to satisfy the agreement or satisfy the warranty from the Gree people was to have a professional put the Freon in the lines. So they vacuumed the copper lines. They put a vacuum on that, and then they release the Freon, which comes from the factory inside the unit itself. And I had that professionally done because I don't have the equipment to do that. But other than that, I did the whole thing myself. And another nice thing is the girl where I bought the unit helped me decide on the Gree unit because it's about $300 cheaper than the Mitsubishi unit, which was a nice surprise. And it's true to form. It's just as efficient. Haven't had any problems with it, and we're good to go. So I hope that this little segment will help somebody with that. You know, don't be afraid to take that on. It's pretty easy, and you just got to have some patience. And it's about a 25-foot. You got to figure the distance between the outside unit and the inside unit. Mine happened to be about 30 foot, and then they sell that raceway and everything. The enclosure for the copper pipes. They give you everything you need. They work with you real well. So I'm signing off now. Good luck.